everyone. Today I need to make some almond biscotti for a wedding, so I thought I'd make them with you. So here we go. Okay, so you just need a few simple ingredients. Keep in mind that I am making enough for a wedding for 100 people, so you won't need near the amount of ingredients that I need. I will be telling you like the normal measurements that you'd need just for a simple recipe. So you need some baking powder. I like to use this Lievito Pane degli Angeli. It's an Italian baking powder basically that also has some vanilla mixed in. You don't have to use that. You can just use regular baking powder and then vanilla extract. We've got the all-purpose flour mixed with the baking powder and some sea salt, some light olive oil, regular granulated sugar, some almond extract. We've got fresh eggs and roasted salted almonds. I like the salt because it just adds that little extra something to the biscotti. And you can see I've got my pans all ready to go. They're sprayed with olive oil cooking spray. You don't have to use these special pans. You can just use a regular cookie sheet with parchment paper and just roll the cookie dough out into like 2 logs. You can form it into 2 logs and do it that way. But I need mine to be a little more precise because of the presentation for a wedding. So let's go. You'll just need a 1/4 cup of olive oil versus what I'm using, which is 2 cups for this huge batch that I'm making. And then you'll want to cream it together with 3/4 cup of sugar. And I just cream that together in my KitchenAid mixer. Just cream those together until they're well blended. So as you can see, this is mixed in pretty well. It kind of looks like a sugar scrub. And then you want to add in your extracts. So it's 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract and 1/2 teaspoon of almond extract. Once that's mixed in, you can start mixing in your eggs a little at a time. So you'll do 2 eggs. For yours, 2 whole eggs. I'm just going to put a couple in at a time here. You can put yours all in at the same time, really, for 2 eggs. If you're going to make a bigger batch, then you'll want to add them a little bit more slowly. I'm just going to go ahead and add the rest now. And just give it a chance to mix in. Okay, I think these are ready for the flour mixture. So as you can see, I've had to transfer my mixture to a big bowl because my KitchenAid mixer bowl is just not big enough for this quantity. So next is the flour, which you'll put in 1 3/4 cups of all-purpose flour mixed with 1/4 teaspoon of salt and 1 teaspoon of baking powder. So as you can see, I've kind of made my own way of using my KitchenAid mixer by adding a huge bowl. It's hard to hold the camera and show you how to do this at the same time, but I'm kind of giving you the gist. So I've got about half of the flour mixture in there right now. Once that's incorporated, then I'm going to add the rest. As you can see, this has formed a sticky dough, which is perfect. So I'm just giving this a good mix by hand just to make sure that all of the egg and sugar mixture is incorporated in and any parts of white flour are incorporated. And this is just like the perfect consistency, as you can see. So now all there's left is to add some almonds. And I just kind of eyeball it, but for your recipe, you would put in 3/4 cup of almond, and you can chop them if you like. I prefer to put in the whole almonds because I just like that nice big chunk of almond when I bite into my biscotti. I think that'll do for now. It's probably about a cup, maybe a cup and a quarter, something like that, that I put in, but not what you'll put in. So again, giving this a good stir by hand. You can use your mixer, but you know, I've taken this out of the regular mixing bowl and putting it into a bigger mixing bowl that doesn't fit my mixer. So I could hold it and guide it, but I'm just going to do it by hand right now. Okay, so I think that's pretty good. All right, so this is going to be sticky. So when you work with it, you're going to want to keep your hands a little bit wet to keep the dough from sticking all over your fingers and just being able to work with it much easier. Maybe a few more almonds. So it's probably about a half a pound of almonds that I put in here so far. Okay, and as I spoon this into my pans, I can make sure that the almonds are distributed evenly as well. Okay. Okay, so you want to keep your hands wet, not soaking or anything. Like you don't want to like put water into the mixture, but just enough so that it doesn't stick to your hands, see? And I'm just using this to smooth it out to the corners of the pan. And again, remember, you won't be using these little tins. You'll use a cookie sheet with some parchment paper and roll all the dough out into 2 logs. You're going to form 2 logs. You can make them long, short, fat, skinny, however you want your cookies to look. You really can't mess this up. And see how, like, maybe I'm going to pick up one of these almonds and put it somewhere else because like this spot doesn't have any. So I'm just going to put that in there. You really can't mess this up, people. So easy, and it makes the kitchen smell so good. Okay, I've got the oven set at 350 on regular bake, and they're all snuggled in nicely together, ready to go. So I'm just gonna let these do their thing. Okay, these have been in the oven about 25 minutes at 350, and they look nice and beautiful with a touch of brown, nice and golden. And I'm just gonna let these rest for about 10 minutes before I pop them out. And remember, I have them greased with some olive oil spray so that So now that I sliced them, I turn them on the side, put them back in the oven on a cookie sheet until they get nice and golden brown. You can bake them as long as you want. If you want them super crisp and crunchy, or if you just want them a little bit chewy in the middle, you can do that too. There's, you know, this is really for you to enjoy them, so you can cook them as much or as little as you like. Okay, these honeys are ready to go back into the oven. And I've got the oven turned down for the second bake to 325. Okay, they're out of the oven, and you can see they're nice and toasty. When I turn them over, they look nice and toasted like that. Again, it's all to your liking. Okay, these darlings are ready for their white chocolate dip and drizzle and some pretty wedding themed sprinkles. Okay, so the first thing I've got to do to get this white chocolate tempered is get this double boiler going. And you can see it's like on medium setting. And so I put water at the bottom of this pan. And I've got my chocolate here. You have to really keep an eye on this because it can go bad really quickly and burn. Now I am using like super good white chocolate because I always say love is the secret ingredient. So I always want to have the best ingredients for the best quality and the best flavor. You can use like those chocolate melts, but they're basically made of like sugar and oil. This actually has like real cocoa butter in it, so it's the real deal. And I've got these pretty sprinkles that are going to go on there as well for the wedding theme. So I'm just going to keep an eye on this and just keep like moving it around until it gets nice and creamy, but I'm not going to take my eyes off of it. Okay, now once the chocolate is nice and silky and gorgeous like this, you are ready to start working with it to decorate. Now I just take a spoonful like this and you just kind of drizzle it back and forth like that. Okay. It doesn't even, you don't even have to be perfect about it because it just looks pretty. Then I'm going to take these, and I'm working with one hand, so this is kind of hard. But I'm just going to kind of like sprinkle these over. And then I'll show you the finished product when I'm done and not working with one hand.